There's a mirror following you, not made of glass, not something you hang on a wall, but it reflects everything you are, your thoughts, your emotions, your fears, even the things you try to hide. You walk through life believing you're acting upon the world, shaping it, forcing outcomes, pushing toward your goals. But what if I told you that the world doesn't respond to your actions? It responds to your essence. It doesn't react, it reflects, and that changes everything. Imagine, you're standing in front of a still lake. You smile, the water smiles back. You frown, it frowns back. You wave, it waves too, but you don't get mad at the lake for what you see. You know, it's just reflecting now. Place the lake with the quantum field. The field doesn't judge, it doesn't punish, it doesn't reward, it only mirrors. It's the mirror never knew was following you. Everything you experience, every pattern, every cycle, every coincidence is the echo of something coming from within you. This is why you keep encountering the same kinds of people, the same problems, the same stuckness. Because the field is neutral. It has no opinion. It simply gives. You, not the version of you pretend to be, not the version you post online, not even the version you wish you were, but the energy you're radiating, consciously or unconsciously. If you've been living with fear, shame, or resistance, the field will reflect situations that keep those frequencies alive. If you've been secretly believing you're unworthy or broken, the mirror will show you rejection, not because you deserve it, but because that's the frequency you're broadcasting. You're not cursed, you're not stuck, you're just watching your inner state play out in your external world again and again until you realize, okay, you are the cause. The field is the effect. And here's where it gets even more fascinating. Most people try to change the mirror. They chase the reflection, hoping that if they hustle harder, look better, achieve more, they'll finally feel different. But that's not how a mirror works. You can't scream at the reflection to smile. You have to smile first. You can't force the reflection to change. You have to become the change. This is why so much effort feels wasted. Why? It feels like you're always swimming. It's upstream. Because you're not changing the signal. You're just decorating the static. And here's the most uncomfortable truth. The mirror works even when you're not looking. Your subconscious beliefs, the ones buried deep in your nervous system, are constantly feeding the field. Even when you're smiling on the outside, if there's pain inside, the field reflects that pain. You attract not what you want, but what you are in this moment. So, if the outside world feels like a prison check, what's running inside you? If people keep abandoning you, ask, what part of you abandoned yourself first? If you're overlooked, unseen, undervalued, ask, what part of you is still hiding? Because until you shift that, until your inner reality changes, the mirror will keep showing you the same old movie. Different costumes, different actors, same energy. But this isn't about blame. This is about power. Because the moment you realize the field is a mirror, you stop feeling like a victim of life and start becoming the creator of it. You understand that every trigger, every failure, every closed door was simply the mirror saying, here, this is what's inside. Do you want to keep broadcasting it? This realization is both terrifying and freeing. Terrifying because it means no one is coming to fix it. Freeing because it means you don't have to wait for anyone to fix it. And here's what makes it even more powerful. The mirror doesn't need time. It doesn't wait for 5 years of struggle or 10,000 affirmations. It shifts the moment you shift. When your internal frequency truly changes, just at the surface, but at the level of belief and embodiment, the reflection begins to follow. Not instantly, not always dramatically, but inevitably. It's like tuning a radio. If you're on the wrong station, it doesn't matter how badly you want a different song, you'll keep hearing static until you turn the dial. That dial is your inner signal, your emotions, thoughts, and sense of identity. And the moment you change that frequency, the field the mirror, adjusts accordingly. You're not here to chase reflections. You're here to command them through who you are being. You've spent years trying to do more. Now it's time to be more. Because in the end, the field isn't testing you, it's mirroring you. And that mirror is showing you exactly where your next shift must begin. What if you were broadcasting a signal into the universe, even when you're silent? Not through your voice, not through your actions, but through your energy. You see, most people believe they communicate through words, body language, facial expressions. And yes, on a human level, that's true. But beneath all of that, beneath the mask, there is a frequency, a vibration, an energetic signature you carry with you at all times. In the universe, it doesn't hear your words, it feels your frequency. Imagine walking into a room, saying nothing, yet somehow, everyone feels something around you. Some people instantly trust you. Others might feel uncomfortable. They can't explain why, but they feel it. This is not magic. This is energy. You're always sending out this signature. Every thought, every emotion, every belief is encoded into that signal. It's like your soul is constantly transmitting a silent broadcast in the field. The quantum field listens, but here's the part most people miss. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. If your energetic signature says, "I am unworthy," then the field mirrors that. You'll meet situations that reinforce your unworthiness. You'll feel overlooked, unseen, unappreciated, and it won't be because the world is unfair. It'll be because your field is requesting that. Reflection. Let's break this down. Think about a radio station. You want to hear 101.5 FM, but your dial is set to 88.7. No matter how much you scream, plead, or affirm, the music won't change till you tune your frequency. Your life is the same. Your reality, your experiences, relationships, opportunities, they all arise from the frequency you're tuned to. So the real question becomes, what frequency are you broadcasting right now? Here's something wild. Two people can stand in the same room, face the same external conditions, have completely different experiences of reality. Why? Because their internal frequencies are different. One sees possibilities, the other sees blocks. One feels empowered, the other feels victimized. It's not the room, it's the signature. And what's fascinating is, your energetic signature isn't just a passive thing. You're actively creating it every moment based on your thoughts, your feelings, and your level of consciousness. It's not something you fix once and forget. It's something you live into, moment by moment, breath by breath. Let me ask you something personal. When was the last time you checked in with your energy? Not your to-do list, not your schedule, not your goals, your energy. What are you really broadcasting to the field? If you're honest, you might find there's a conflict. You might say you want abundance, but you carry the frequency of lack. You might want love, but you're vibrating with fear and self-protection. You might want freedom, but your signature still holds the codes of control and anxiety. And the field, it mirrors the deeper signal, not the surface words. Now, here's where transformation begins. You can change your energetic signature, not through willpower, not through force, but through awareness and alignment. First, awareness. You start observing the emotional tone you live in. You pay attention to how you feel when no one's watching. You notice the internal weather. Is it cloudy with doubt, stormy with resentment, clear with peace? You don't judge it, you just see it, because awareness changes everything. Second, alignment. You begin to shift your internal posture. You breathe differently. You speak differently. You think in a way that's aligned with who you want to become. You upgrade your thoughts. You soften your resistance. You slow down your nervous system, and slowly, moment by moment, your frequency begins to shift. This is not instant. It's gratification. This is inner work. You won't see results in the outer world immediately, because you're shifting the signal first, and the field needs time to mirror the new you. But if you stay consistent, you broadcast your new energetic identity long enough, the mirror must reflect it. Reality has to follow energy, because that's the law. Think about this. Have you ever noticed how some people just seem lucky? Things align for them. Doors open, right place, right time. But it's not luck, it's alignment. Their energy invites synchronicity. Their inner world is coherent. It's clear opening. The field can't help but respond. Now, imagine becoming that person, not by faking it, not by pretending, but by embodying the version of you that already lives on that frequency. The version of you who doesn't chase, doesn't beg, doesn't doubt, because their energy speaks louder than words. That's your next evolution, to stop trying to force reality. Instead, tune yourself into the version of reality you wish to experience. Because when your inner signature matches your desired outcome, reality mirrors it effortlessly. The field isn't judging you. It's not testing you. It's not deciding if you're worthy. It's just mirroring you. Always. It always will. You can say the right words. You can smile at the right time. You can even act like everything is fine. But the field, it doesn't listen to your words. It reads your signal. This is why no matter how hard you try to appear confident, abundant, or healed, if deep down you're still vibrating with doubt, scarcity, or pain, the quantum field mirrors that inner frequency back to you. The field is not looking at your intentions. It's looking at your truth, your energetic signature, your unconscious patterning, your most consistent emotional state. And this is why the field cannot be tricked. You see, it's not judging you. It's not rewarding or punishing you. It's simply reflecting you perfectly, precisely, constantly. Think of it like a cosmic call. Whatever you whisper into it with emotion, belief, and repetition is exactly what it whispers back, not in sound, but in experience. If you secretly believe you're unworthy, the field doesn't argue. It echoes, yes, unworthy, by showing you experiences of rejection, of lack, of not being chosen. If you carry shame or guilt, even behind a smiling mask, the field simply reflects back situations where that shame can be validated, where your guilt finds reasons to grow. This is why trying to manifest from a place of fear fails. Why affirmations without belief feel empty. Why visualizations with buried doubts bring more frustration than clarity. Because the field isn't responding to what you want. It's responding to what you are. The truth is, you are always in communication with the field. Always. It's transmitting, always receiving. But most of us are transmitting unconsciously, repeating emotional signals from past trauma, inherited beliefs, or suppressed wounds. We say, I want love, but the signal says, I fear abandonment. We say, I want success, but the signal says, I don't deserve it. The result is the field mirrors not the desire, but the fear beneath it. Now, here's the awakening. The field doesn't need to be convinced. It needs to be met with coherence. What does that mean? It means aligning what you say, what you feel, and what you believe into one frequency. When your heart, mind, and body carry the same truth, the field instantly responds, because finally, you're not sending mixed signals. This is where inner work becomes energetic alignment. This is where healing becomes transformation. This is where your identity becomes your manifestation. If you want to change what the field reflects, you have to change what you're reflecting to the field. And that doesn't happen by pretending. It happens by becoming. So instead of asking, why isn't the universe giving me what I asked for? Ask, what am I still broadcasting that contradicts what I desire? Because once you find that, do you find the key? You see, you can't fool the field, but you can recalibrate your frequency, not through control, but through consciousness, not by chasing outcomes, but by embodying new truths. This is how energy shifts. This is how timelines rearrange. This is how the mirror begins to show you something new. Not because it changed, but because you did. So remember, you're not being tested. You're being reflected, not judged, mirrored. The field is neutral, but deeply intelligent. It knows your real signal, even when you dance single quotes. And when you finally align with a new one, it will echo back something that feels like magic but was actually always science. Quantum response, energetic feedback, perfect resonance. You don't need to manipulate the mirror. You only need to become the version of you that the mirror can't help but reflect differently. Because the moment your inner world becomes coherent, the outer world bends to match it. And that is how the field works. You can't fake energy, not to the field, not to the quantum realm that surrounds you. You can say the right things, smile at the right times, even visualize your dream's life every morning. But the field, it doesn't respond to what you pretend to be. It listens, not to your words, but to your frequency, to the signal beneath your mask, to the subtle vibration that never lies. Let's say you affirm, I am abundant, but deep down, you feel anxious about money. You carry fear, scarcity, doubt. Guess what? The field mirrors back. Not your words, not your vision board, but the fear. You can't override your signal with surface level habits, because the quantum field is reading the truth underneath, and it reflects that. It's like trying to broadcast a love song, but the frequency is tuned to fear. No matter what lyrics you sing, the station plays what you're really tuned into. This is why intentions matter, not just the ones you speak, but the ones you live, the ones hidden in your nervous system, the ones that shape your breath, your posture, your tone, your presence. You can't lie to the field, because the field is you. It's an extension of your own consciousness. It knows what you know, even if you've buried it. It senses when your mind says yes, but your body screams no. So when you try to manifest something, but your energy says, I'm not worthy of that, the field doesn't punish you. It simply reflects back what you're a match for. This is why awareness is everything. Awareness is how you change your frequency. Because when you become aware of the real signal you're sending, you regain the power to shift it. It starts by being radically honest about what you actually feel, not what you want to feel, not what you think you should feel, but the raw, unfiltered truth pulsing through your system. The more honest you are with yourself, the clearer your frequency becomes. And the clearer your frequency, the more powerfully the field responds. This is the key. You don't need to force the field. You don't need to fake anything. You need to tune yourself. You need to bring your internal signal into coherence. When your thoughts align with your emotions, and your emotions align with your actions, you begin to radiate a pure, undistorted frequency. That's when the field starts rearranging reality for you. Because now, you're not trying to manipulate it. You're partnering with it. You're no longer pretending. You're embodying. So, if you want a new reality, don't just visualize it. Vibrate it. Let your intentions come from a place of alignment. Let them arise from truth, not desperation. Let them feel like home inside your nervous system, not a foreign dream you're begging to happen. The quantum field is intelligent. It knows when you're aligned and it knows when you're just performing alignment. Drop the performance. Drop the mask. Tune in, feel deeply, and become the frequency of the future you desire. Only then will the field have no choice but to respond. There is a moment silent, visible, when the quantum field receives your signal. Not your words, not your plans, not your desires on paper, but your energetic truth. This truth is made of your emotions, your frequency, your inner coherence, or lack of it. And whether you realize it or not, this signal is constantly being transmitted, like a beacon sent into the infinite. You don't need to speak a single word. You don't need to ask the universe. The field already knows, because the field is you. More precisely, it's the mirror of your most consistent state. Let's pause here and absorb what this actually means. Most people believe the universe responds to what they want, but the field is not reacting to your want. It's not even reacting to your conscious thoughts. It's responding to your broadcasted paterna, subtle but powerful combination of your most practiced beliefs, your habitual feelings, and your underlying assumptions about reality. And here's the profound part most people miss. The field doesn't give you what you think you want. It gives you what you are energetically. It doesn't judge. It doesn't evaluate. Okay? If you deserve it, it doesn't analyze if it's good or bad. It simply reflects. It's like a perfect mirror, neutral, fast, and exact. Imagine holding up a mirror and smiling. The reflection smiles back instantly. But now, try to fake a smile while feeling rage inside. The mirror doesn't lie. You'll see the tension. The energy betrays the surface. That's what the quantum field does too. You can't trick it, can't manipulate it, because it sees beneath the mask, sees your dominant vibration, not your temporary declarations. So, how does the field actually become your mirror? Okay? It begins with your focus. Whatever you focus on consistently, emotionally, and with belief, begins to form an energetic imprint. Over time, this imprint gains mass in the quantum field, like a signal getting louder with each repetition. Your fears, if felt repeatedly, they become signals. Your gratitude, if practiced daily, it radiates into the field. Even silence, if filled with resentment, sends a message. So the field listens, not to the noise of your life, but to the signal beneath the surface. And here's the fascinating part: when your signal is incoherent, the field mirrors back chaos. Ever wondered why life sometimes feels random? Why things just don't click, even when you're trying your best? It's often because your signal is fragmented. One part of you wants abundance, but another part still believes you're not worthy of it. One part desires love, another is afraid to receive it. One part declares you're ready for change, but another clings to the familiar pain. The field receives both signals, but guess what? Stronger, more emotionally charged, and more frequent signal wins. Always. This is how the mirror works. It reflects not just the image you show, but the deeper resonance you live in. Let's go deeper. Your state of being is the real creator, not your hustle, not your to-do list, not even your words of affirmation, no less they match your emotional truth. So, if you feel poor, say, I am abundant. The field mirrors the feeling, not the words. If you act confident, but are filled with doubt, the field echoes the vibration, not the performance. This is why people can spend years doing all the right things, but still feel stuck. Because the field isn't fooled by effort, attuned to authentic, energetic alignment. Now, does this mean you're doomed if you've been broadcasting pain or fear? Not at all. It means you have the most powerful tool in the universe, awareness, when you realize that the field is always mirroring you. You stop blaming the world and start tuning your frequency. This is where change begins, not by forcing the outer world, okay, but by refining your inner signal. And here's the beauty of the moment. Your frequency shifts, even subtly. The mirror begins to adjust. It doesn't take months or years. Sometimes, a single moment of coherence, of emotional clarity, causes a ripple in the field that returns as synchronicity, breakthrough, or transformation. Because the field is not delayed by time, it responds to state, not schedule. So the question becomes, what are you broadcasting right now? Not what you say, not what you post, but what your energy is shouting into the quantum mirror. Every emotion, every pattern, every assumption you hold about life is part of your signal in the field. It never forgets to reflect. You've likely heard the advice before. Say your affirmations daily. Repeat, I am abundant, I am worthy. And maybe you've tried. You've stood in front of the mirror, chanting powerful words with hope in your heart. But something didn't feel quite right. It felt empty, forced, like painting over a cracked wall nice on the surface, still broken underneath. Here's the truth, most won't tell. You affirmations only work when your energy matches the words. Otherwise, you're just whispering to a mirror rand, wondering why it doesn't respond. Let's go deeper. Mental affirmations. The surface level game affirmations come from the conscious mind. They're thoughts you choose to think, and thoughts are powerful. But they're not the whole story. You can repeat, "I am successful" all day long, but if your energetic field is screaming lack, insecurity, or fear, that's what the quantum field hears. Why? 'Cause the field doesn't respond to your words. It mirrors your frequency, your inner truth, the emotion you're really carrying. You might say, "I'm wealthy," but your nervous system is in survival mode. You feel tight when you think about it. It's money. You carry years of programming that says you're not enough, so the affirmation clashes with your core energy. And the result? Nothing changes. Or worse, you start to doubt the process entirely. The quantum field is fluent in emotion, not language. You must understand this. The quantum field, this energetic mirror of reality, doesn't understand English or Urdu or Spanish. It understands vibration. It responds to feeling. It listens to your core emotional signature. You can lie to your mind, but you can't lie to your field. Saying, "I am at peace," while radiating anxieties like yelling, "I'm not angry," with clenched fists. The contradiction is obvious. This is why some people repeat affirmations for months or even years and still live the same life. Because their words never penetrated their being. The body remembers what the mind tries to override. Let's say you were abandoned as a child. That emotional wound didn't just pass. It became part of your energetic coding. Now, as an adult, you repeat, "I am loved. I am safe." But the body remembers. The nervous system is still on high alert. Your relationships still trigger old fears. That's not weakness. It's unprocessed energy. Affirmations alone won't rewrite that. Memory. You need energetic integration, healing, stillness, presence. You need to feel the wound fully, not just paste a positive label over it. Energy speaks louder than thought. Here's a powerful truth. You are always affirming something even when you're not speaking. Your posture is an affirmation. Your breath is an affirmation. Your tone, your tension, your pace, they all broadcast your internal state. So if you want to shift your life, don't just say new thoughts. Feel a new energy. Step into the emotion of what you want to become. Let your body memorize what it's like to already be there. Imagine walking into a room, not with forced confidence, but with the calm certainty of someone who knows they belong. Now, the affirmation. "I am confident" isn't just a phrase, it's a frequency. How to align energetically before affirming mentally. Here's how you flip the script. 1. Feel first. Speak second. Sit in stillness. Ask, "What am I actually feeling right now?" Don't judge. Feel dead. Then breathe into the version of you that already has what you desire. Let it become real inside your nervous system. 2. Shift your state gently. Don't force it. Use breath, music, memory, or visualization to move into that new emotion. 3. Affirm from alignment. Now speak the affirmation from truth, from embodiment, from coherence between your heart, your body, and your words. This is when the field listens. The real work isn't in words, it's in energies. So many are chasing success with their mouths, but broadcasting fear with their presence. The real work, it's in the silent hours, the quiet rewiring, the emotional honesty. Affirmations aren't bad, but they're not magic spells. They're reminders of who you're becoming. But the becoming happens in the space between words. When you breathe deeper, when you heal slowly, when you face the truth gently, that's when your affirmation becomes a frequency. And that's when the field mirrors back a new reality. Have you ever felt like no matter how much you try to change your life, you always end up in the same place? Different people, different job, different city, but the same feeling, the same emotional loop, the same frustration. The same story playing out, just wearing a different costume. Why? Why does the universe keep handing you the same pattern over and over again? Here's the truth. No one tells you. The universe doesn't respond to what you want. It doesn't respond to your goals. It doesn't even respond to your words. It responds to your energetic truth. You are not living inside a universe that's testing you or punishing you. You are living inside a responsive field of intelligence, one that mirrors you back to yourself with brutal honesty. This field doesn't care about your affirmations if your energy is still radiating fear. It doesn't care about your vision board if your internal frequency is stuck in lack. It doesn't care about your goals if the emotion you wake up in each morning is dread. The universe isn't biased. It's not personal. It's just perfectly attuned to your internal frequency. It's like a cosmic algorithm. What you emotionally broadcast on a regular basis becomes what reality flexed out, not because you deserve it, not because it's your karma, but because you are in resonance with it. So let's break this down. You can say, I want a relationship filled with love and trust. But if your energy still carries unhealed betrayal, you expect abandonment. You secretly believe you're unworthy of being fully seen. Then the signal you're actually broadcasting is not one of connection, but of fear and defense. And so, what does the universe do? It brings you another relationship that reflects that very wound. One more opportunity to see it, to face it, to finally choose differently. Not to punish you, but to make your unconscious conscious, to illuminate the pattern so you can rewrite it. The universe keeps bringing you the same pattern because you're still unconsciously holding on to the same internal script. And until that script changes, till the emotional blueprint behind your thoughts changes, till the energetic signal you emit from your core changes, your outer life has to repeat itself. That's not punishment. That's precision. That's quantum accuracy. The field is showing you with exact precision what's going on beneath the surface of your conscious desires. Let's get practical. Let's say, keep getting overlooked at work. You put in effort, you stay late, you're capable. Somehow others get promoted. Others get noticed now. Most people would take that at face value. I guess I'm not good enough. Or this is just bad luck. See, but if you could see the energy you're emitting, you might notice a deep unconscious belief that says, my value comes from overworking. Or if I try hard enough, maybe I'll be worthy of recognition. That belief, felt emotionally, deeply ingrained, becomes the energetic frequency you send out, and the universe, in its precision, sends you a reality that matches that belief. One where you are always chasing validation, but never quite receiving it. Not because it's unfair, but because it's accurate. The universe is your mirror, not your judge, not your enemy, your mirror. And that mirror won't change until you change what it's reflecting. That means you can't fake your energy. You can't mask your beliefs with positive thinking. You can't hide your emotional truth from the field, because the field speaks energy, not words, not effort, just raw, honest vibration. So, how do you change the pattern? You begin by observing, not resisting the loop. You ask yourself, what belief is this situation showing me about myself? What expectation am I secretly carrying that keeps playing out again and again? Then here's the hard part. You must feel that old energy in your body. Not think about it, not analyze it, but feel it. Because energy doesn't shift through logic. It shifts through presence. Sit with the grief. Sit with the fear. Sit with the anger. Let it surface. Let it move. Only when the emotional residue of the old cadmium is released can a new signal be broadcast. And this is when the universe responds differently. Not because the universe changed, but because you did. Suddenly, new people show up. New experiences unfold. New synchronicities appear. Why? Because you are no longer vibrating in the same frequency that attracted the old. The loop breaks the moment your energy shifts. The moment you become unavailable for that old version of reality, the universe is not repeating the pattern to trap you. It's repeating it to awaken you, to give you another chance. Another mirror to see the energetic truth you've been sending out. And once you own that truth, once you feel it and shift it, everything changes. Not gradually, not someday, but in that very moment, your signal comes coherent with a new reality. Because in the quantum field, you don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. Have you ever wondered why, even after all the affirmations, all the vision boards, and all the planning, things still feel stuck? You're doing the work. You're visualizing, scripting, meditating, and yet the outcomes don't change. Here's the truth most people never hear. The universe doesn't respond to your thoughts. It responds to your frequency. And your frequency is not what you say you want. It's what you're actually transmitting. Let's go deep when we talk about manifesting a new reality. What we're really talking about is emitting a new energetic signature into the quantum field. And that signature must be consistent, embodied, and felt, not forced. So how do you actually transmit something new into the field? It begins with understanding this: every thought you think, every emotion you feel, and every belief you carry creates a vibrational blueprint. And that blueprint is what the quantum field mirrors back to you. But here's the challenge. Most people try to change their reality without changing their signal. They want love, but they carry the frequency of rejection. They want wealth, but they vibrate with lack. They want peace, but they carry the tension of control, so the field responds accordingly, not to your desire, but to your energetic truth. Let's get practical. Step 1. Feel before it's real. Before anything can become real in the 3D, it must become real in your nervous system. You must feel safe with abundance, worthy of love, available for miracles. This is not fake it till you make it. This is calibrating your entire being to the frequency of your future. Ask yourself, if what I wanted showed up right now, would I actually be able to hold it? Would I trust it? Would I sabotage it? Would I feel undeserving? These questions reveal your true frequency, not what you say, but what you're ready for. Step 2. Interrupt the old broadcaster body. Is like a signal tower, and it's been broadcasting the same frequency for years, based on childhood wounds, based on past trauma, based on inherited beliefs. To send a new signal, okay? You must interrupt the old one. How? Through awareness. The moment you catch yourself acting from lack, reacting from fear, or bracing for disappointment, you pause, you breathe, you observe. This moment of interruption is powerful because now you're no longer unconscious. Now you have a choice to respond differently, to feel differently, to broadcast differently. Every time you choose a new emotional response, every time you override the old habit, shift your frequency, and the field takes notice. Step 3. Embody the new signal daily. Let's be clear. This isn't about thinking positive. This is about living aligned. It means showing up every day as the you that already exists on your desired timeline. How would they walk? How would they speak? What would they allow? What would they no longer tolerate? You bring that version into your now, not as an act, but as an integration. You wire it in through your habits. You ground it through your choices. You reflect it through your energy. And when this becomes your default, the field has no choice but to rearrange around you, not because you forced it, but because you became it. Step 4. Surrender the timeline. This might be the hardest part. You've done the inner work. You've recalibrated. You've aligned your signal. Now you let go, because attachment is just another form of resistance. And resistance is a signal too. When you obsess, control, or doubt, you're emitting fear. But when you release, trust, and allow, you're emitting faith. And that's when the field moves, not on your schedule, but on the perfect, light, divine timing. And when it does, It feels like magic, but it's not magic. It's alignment. It's coherence. It's quantum. Truth in action. The quantum secret most never learn. Here's what most people miss. Reality doesn't change when your desires change. Reality changes when your frequency stabilizes in the new timeline. That means no more dipping back into old stories. No more checking if it's working. No more needing external proof. You stay in the frequency. You hold it. You live it until the outer mirrors the inner. This is how you transmit a new signal. This is how you create real change. Not from hustle, not from mental tricks, but from energetic mastery. And here's the wild part. The moment you shift your signal, even slightly, you open a new path, one you couldn't see before. People show up, opportunities align. Time bends, not because you chased it, but because you tuned into it. The quantum field responds every time, because the universe isn't watching your words, it's listening to your vibration. And when your vibration says, I am ready, everything rearranges to match. You've spent most of your life sending out a signal without knowing you were broadcasting anything at all. Every thought, every emotion, every belief you've ever repeated, it's been radiating from you like a silent frequency. And the quantum field listens, not just occasionally, but constantly. It listens to who you're being, not who you're pretending to be. Now, here's the deeper part. Most people never realize you're not stuck with the signal you're sending. You can recalibrate it. You can tune your entire internal state, your energy, your identity, your emotional baseline to align with a different version of reality. And when you do, reality itself begins to shift. But first, you must become aware of what you've actually been broadcasting. Most people don't realize that they're living in the echo of an old signal. They want abundance, but their signal says, I'm afraid I'll run out. They want love, but their frequency still hums with, I'm not good enough. They want transformation, but their energy says, I don't really believe change is possible. In the quantum field, it doesn't respond to what you say you want. It mirrors back what you are. That's why change isn't about forcing new outcomes. It's about becoming the version of you who effortlessly receives them. So, what does it actually mean to recalibrate your signal? This begins with radical, energetic honesty. You have to look at what you've been feeling, not just what you've been thinking, because emotion is energy in motion, and your emotions have been imprinting the field, are louder than your affirmations ever could. So, here's the paradox. To step into a new timeline, you don't fight the old signal. You dissolve it. You outgrow it by expanding your emotional range, shifting your focus, and embodying the frequency of the version of you who already lives the reality you desire. That version already exists in the quantum field. All timelines are already real. You're not trying to create it. You're trying to tune into it. And here's how. Step 1. Identify the current signal. Sit still. Close your eyes, drop out of your mind, and into your body. Now ask yourself, what emotion do I feel most often? Is it anxiety, guilt, security? Maybe it's numbness or disconnection. That's your current baseline signal. This isn't about judgment. It's about awareness. You can't recalibrate what you haven't acknowledged. Step 2. Identify the target frequency. Now think of a future version of you, the one who already lives the life you want. What do they feel like? Peaceful, empowered, creative, confident, grateful. This is your target frequency, the emotional and energetic state you're shifting toward. But remember, you can't fake this. You must begin to genuinely cultivate those feelings from the inside out. Step 3. Embody before evidence. This is the part where most people give up. They wait for their outer reality to change before they allow their inner state to shift. But quantum reality works in reverse. You must become the new signal, for life mirrors it. So you start small. You choose gratitude even when there's nothing obvious to be grateful for. You choose confidence even when the results aren't showing up yet. You choose inner peace even when chaos surrounds you. You're not reacting to your environment anymore. You're broadcasting a new signal regardless of the current conditions. And as that signal stabilizes, the field has no choice but to reflect it back. Step 4. Tune out the noise. Recalibration requires space. That means limiting your exposure to things that reinforce the old frequency. If your environment is steeped in fear, scarcity, or judgment, unplug. You don't owe your past any loyalty. You don't need to keep surrounding yourself with people or patterns that keep you tethered to your former identity. Sometimes, evolution looks like silence, solitude, stillness. It's in the quiet where your true signal gets stronger. Step 5. Sustain the signal. Anyone can meditate for 5 minutes and feel good, but the real shift happens when you learn to carry your frequency through life, through the traffic, through the job, through the bills, through the arguments, through the unknown. That's energetic mastery, not perfection, persistence. You'll fall out of alignment. That's part of the process, but with every return to your chosen frequency, the signal stabilizes. Your field becomes clearer, more coherent, more magnetic, and then things begin to change. People respond to you differently. Opportunities appear where none existed. Synchronicities accelerate. You start to realize life was never working against you. It was always responding to your frequency. Here's the final truth. Reality doesn't shift when you wait. It shifts when you transmit. And if you can maintain a new signal, even when nothing has changed yet, even when your past still echoes, even when your mind still doubts you, step into the quantum timeline that was waiting for you all along. The version of you who doesn't chase reality. They attract it, not through force, but through frequency. You walk into a room and without speaking a word, you've already said everything. Your body language, your energy, your emotional tone, even your silence. It's all broadcasting constantly like a frequency tower that never powers down. And here's the part you weren't told. You're always being heard, not just by people, not just by life, but by the field itself. The quantum field, the living consciousness that surrounds you, feels you, and responds to you's always listening. But it doesn't listen the way your ears do. It listens through resonance. It reads your vibrational truth, not your spoken affirmations. It decodes your intention, not your declarations. It feels the reality behind the mask, not the one you try to convince yourself of. So while you think you're manifesting what you want, you're often just amplifying what you are. That's the invisible broadcast. And unless you become conscious of it, you'll keep creating by default instead of design. Let's go deeper. What you're really transmitting? Every thought you think has a frequency. Every emotion you feel has a signature. Every belief you hold, every story you repeat to yourself sends out a pulse into the field. And that pulse is your signal. It's like walking around with a personal transmission tower wired into your nervous system, your subconscious, your history, and your identity. You might be speaking the words, "I'm ready for abundance," but your signal is still broadcasting, "I'm not enough." You might be visualizing love, but your energy is soaked in unworthiness. You might be journaling for joy, but your frequency is still tuned to survival. So guess what responds? The field doesn't respond to the surface, it responds to the core. It doesn't give you what you're asking for, it gives you what you're aligned with. This is why manifestation can feel broken, why affirmations don't work, why the vision board stays a fantasy, because your inner broadcast never changed. Why most people are unaware. Here's the catch. Most people don't know what they're really broadcasting. They don't hear their own signal because they've been living in it for so long. You've likely been immersed in the same frequency loops since childhood. Emotional wounds, subconscious fears, inherited beliefs from generations past. They all create a base. frequency, and if you've never become conscious of it, you're just reliving it over and over, like a rerun you forgot you're starring in. This is why people feel stuck, why years go by and nothing truly shifts, because the outer changes, but the signal, too. New job, same insecurity. New partner, same patterns. New goals, same sabotage, until you change the frequency, until you update the signal. You'll keep attracting different versions of the same loop. The science behind the signal in quantum terms. Reality is not a static object, it's a field of probabilities. And what determines which probability collapses into form? Your observation. But not just your visual attention, your emotional, energetic, and subconscious attention. This is the observer effect, and you are the observer. So when you're unconsciously focused on fear, lack, or resentment, if your conscious mind is dreaming of joy, you collapse the probability that matches your dominant signal. That is why the field keeps echoing back your inner state. Your vibration is the magnet, your signal is the sculptor, and you don't change the sculpture by wishing it different. You change it by shifting what you emanate. How to tune your inner broadcast. Step 1 is awareness. Become deeply honest with yourself. Not in a self-critical way, but in a curious, clear way. Ask yourself, what am I really feeling most of the time? What emotions are running my baseline? What inner story do I believe without question? Step 2 is responsibility. Own your frequency, not blame it on others, not outsource it to your past. Understand that your current signal is not your fault, but it is your responsibility to evolve. Step 3 is recalibration, and this is not done through force, but through frequency. You don't fight the old, you emit the new. You practice being the version of you who already lives the frequency you desire, not pretending, not faking, but becoming. This means tuning yourself emotionally, energetically, breath by breath, moment by moment. It means taking the radical act of choosing peace, presence, gratitude, not because life is perfect, but because you're done letting your signal be hijacked by chaos. This is mastery. You are the signal, not just the receiver. The greatest shift happens when you stop seeing life as something that happens to you and begin to see that it's something you happen to. You're not here to just interpret reality. You're here to emit it. You're not just absorbing frequencies, you're emitting them. You're not just a mirror. You're a lighthouse, and lighthouses don't ask the storm to calm down before they shine. They shine because it's who they are. So shine, not because you want to manifest something, but because that's your nature. Let your inner broadcast be truth. Let it be integrity. Let it be coherence, because the field is always listening, and it responds to what you truly are. You've understood the patterns. You've seen the loops. Now comes the most vital step, the act of transmitting a new signal into the quantum field. Not hoping, not begging, but intentionally broadcasting a frequency that the field cannot ignore. Because here's the truth. The quantum field doesn't respond to what you say. It responds to what you are. It's not your affirmations, your vision boards, or your mood boards that shape reality. It's your internal coherence, your alignment between thoughts, feelings, energy, and embodiment. Let's break this down. The quantum field reads consistency. The quantum field is like a highly intelligent mirror. It doesn't judge. It doesn't punish. It simply echoes back the signal you send into it. If your words say, "I'm wealthy," but your inner state screams fear of lack, the field picks up the fear, not the words. If your mind says, "I am love," but your heart holds resentment, the signal is blocked, distorted. The message is scrambled. That's why so many people feel like they're doing everything right, but nothing changes. They've mastered the mental image, but not the energetic embodiment. 2. Transmit a new signal. Your inner world must become the exact broadcast the life you say you want. And here's how. Step 1. Attune to the frequency of SID, your desired reality. Everything is frequency. Love has a frequency. Abundance has a frequency. Confidence, joy, peace, power, all have energetic signatures. If your future reality is one of peace and flow, you must generate that feeling now, not when the circumstances appear, not when the money comes, not when the person arrives. You must become the origin point of the energy you seek. Ask yourself this: if I were already living my highest timeline, how would I walk, speak, breathe, think, and act? Then do that every day, even if it feels fake at first, because eventually that vibration starts to overwrite your old patterns. Step 2. Shift from outcome focus to state focus. This is where most people get stuck. They try to use energy work to manipulate outcomes. They visualize money to receive money. They meditate to attract love. They repeat affirmations to bring success. But the field doesn't respond well to force or manipulation. It responds to genuine, coherent energy. Instead of focusing on what you want, focus on how you want to feel. When you embody the feeling fully without needing the outcome shows up anyway. Because the field must mirror your state. You become magnetic, not when you chase, but when you vibrate as if it's already done. Step 3. Use the body as an antenna. Your body is not a cage. It's an instrument. It's an antenna broadcasting your dominant frequency into space. So many try to shift reality from the mind alone. But the real transformation happens when the body participates. Breathe differently. Move differently. Use your posture, your gestures, your expressions to embody your desired timeline. Quantum change is not passive. It's participatory. The more your body aligns with the signal, the stronger the broadcast becomes. Step 4. Practice present tense. Embodiments. Stop waiting. Stop postponing your frequency until things make sense or look better. The field only receives what you are now, so choose it. Now, feel wealth now. Radiate peace. Now. Move as love now. Every moment is a quantum broadcast, and here's the secret most miss. Even your smallest reactions are part of your signal. The sigh when your day doesn't go as planned, the internal panic when the bill shows up, the irritation when things delay. All of that is part of the signal being transmitted. So practice becoming a guardian of your state, not by pretending, but by deeply observing and choosing again and again. Step 5. Let go of the old identity. You cannot carry your old self into a new timeline. You cannot transmit a powerful new signal while still clinging to the past. The past may offer comfort, but it also carries static. Every memory of failure, fear, betrayal, and limitation is encoded in your frequency field. And if you don't release the charge, you'll continue to emit it, even unconsciously. Forgiveness isn't about excusing others. It's about freeing your frequency. Letting go isn't spiritual bypassing. It's quantum alignment. Drop the version of you that struggles. Drop the version that doubts. Drop the version that waits, and transmit the self that already exists in your highest reality. Step 6. Stop looking for confirmation. This one's big. The field does not respond to desperation for proof. If you're constantly checking whether it's working, asking when the results will come, wondering if the universe got your message, you're signaling lack, not trust. You don't need proof. You need presence. Reality lags behind. Energy, it catches up, but only when you hold the frequency long enough for the mirror to reflect it. That's the test. Can you transmit the new signal without needing validation? That's when the shift becomes unshakable. Final transmission. You are the signal. Future isn't waiting somewhere out there. It's waiting inside your signal. You are not here to wait, wish, or wonder. You are here to transmit your truth. So, clearly that the quantum field has no choice but to organize itself around your energy. You don't become magnetic, okay, by trying to be someone else. You become magnetic by becoming more fully yourself in alignment, in truth, in coherence. So ask yourself now, what signal am I sending right now? And is it aligned with the reality I desire? Because if it's not, that change begins now. No one can do it for you. But the moment you shift, reality does too.